Hi. In the last video, I talked to you about the fact that when we manifest oftentimes, or when we try to manifest a bigger life, a better life, that most of us miss the point that we need to change in order to manifest what we want. We cannot just want a big life without being prepared to really truly change from the inside to be a match for the big life. So we need to be ready and prepared to really transform our personality and our perception of ourselves, our limited perception of ourselves, so that the perception we have of ourselves can expand, we can grow and evolve, and that from that new standpoint we can create the life that matches that new personality. And it's not a fixed personality then either. It'll keep growing, right? It'll keep developing, evolving. And today I want to kind of add to that, because that's only one part of the whole taking manifestation further, okay? I listened to Michael Beckwith, and he described kind of 4 stages of consciousness from which we create. And I thought that was really interesting, and I just want to share this with you briefly, because I think we can all use this to check where are we in this and how can we move forward in that. So he describes basically these 4 stages of consciousness, how conscious we are or not. And the first one is, and most people are in that state, on that level of consciousness, which is the victim consciousness. Okay, so we see ourselves as victims of situations, of circumstances. It's like, why me? Poor me. Why does this always happen to me? Why does this person treat me this way? Why is my health so bad? I don't deserve this. And all these kind of things, right? Why is my husband leaving me? Why is my wife doing this? Whatever it is. So this means that we're at a level where we don't feel we have control over things, and that life happens to us, basically. Things happen to us. And this means that we create, we manifest, but not consciously. And therefore, more often or not, we don't manifest what we want, but more of what we don't want, right? Okay, so the next stage from that, right, is when we realize, hey, hang on a second, if I focus more on what I want instead of what I don't want, it's more likely that what I want happens. Okay, this is the whole law of attraction thing, the secret and all this kind of stuff, where we realize we are co-creators, we realize we're manifestors, we realize that something like a vision board can have an effect, and that if we visualize and hold thoughts of desired outcomes, that they're more likely to happen, and all this kind of stuff, right? So this is kind of the manifestor consciousness, okay? And most people on the planet are in stage 1, victim consciousness. Then there are some people who are at stage 2, and they have learned about the law of attraction, the law of resonance and all that, and they know they're a part of it, right? They know this is a universal law and they're a part of all this. But they discover that there are limits to that, okay? And we touched on that in the last video. There are limits to that. And this leads us into, this means kind of life happens by us, right? This is how Michael Beckwith says that. Like, life doesn't happen to us, but life happens by us, by what we do, by what we put out there. You know, we get it reflected back and all that. Now, the third stage of consciousness, what he describes, is it's the level of consciousness where you realize that more wants to come through you, right? That you do not want to manifest from the ego level, your personal little desires and all that, but you realize you are soul, you're infinite energy, infinite source energy, and that you recognize that your soul wants to manifest and wants to express itself. Okay, so this means, he calls that a channel consciousness. A channel consciousness, which means you're channeling through the desires and the wishes and the wants of the soul, of why you came here, what you want to express with your beingness here into this life, what you want to live as soul, why you came here. And often people ask themselves then, well, what's my mission? Why did I come here? What's my purpose? They're looking beyond just the manifesting, okay? And this means they have this concept of life happens through me, right? I create through being in this soul state, connected to source, connected to my soul's desire. Okay, that's stage 3. And usually it's also not like we are at just one stage once we got there. It can go back and forth, right? And it can also go back and forth in the different areas of your life. Like your health could be at 1, like where you're always in victim mode because you feel you have no control over it, or different aspects of your health. And your relationships could be between 2 and 3 because you realize that your soul wants to express yourself in this relationship, and there's a connection between the two of you that has a purpose and all this kind of stuff, right? So you can go back and forth even in the different areas of your life. And the 4th stage that he describes is the kind of the unity consciousness, when you realize actually that not only does life happen through you and expresses itself through you, manifests itself through you, but that there is no separation between you and life, that you are it, that you are life energy, and that there is then in that kind of state of consciousness no, like if you want to manifest something because you realize you are it, things can happen quickly, like instantly. Or now don't ask me how many people get to that level of consciousness, I don't know, but yeah, this is when you realize that you are it. And this is obviously very much this unification perception that we're all one, like this unity perception. We're all one, and not just we as in humans, everything. And not just that we're all one, but that we're all. We are it. We are part of the all that is. And that we have this desire, not from the ego, but from where we come from source, to express ourselves here, to live ourselves, live divinity, live love, magic, everything. Live it here, now, through this little person that we believe to be. Well, in the 4th stage, you don't believe that anymore. But obviously, people will still perceive us as you are Harry and you are Jane and you are, right? So, and obviously, this is why we came here as well, to overcome this false perception of our limited self and to realize who we really are, and to then manifest the life that we want, that we truly want, you know, not what society says we should want or what we have taken on, not even what society says, because it's not something from the outside, it's something that you've picked up along the trail of, you know, growing up. You believe you want certain things and you think it's the most natural thing to want them, and you think actually they're your own desires. But I can tell you, so many of your desires that you think you have, they're just conditioning, they're just programming. They're not what you actually really want. And I believe if you are getting from the stage 2 to the stage 3 into this soul, into this channeling, what does my soul want? You can then differentiate between what you think you want and what you truly want. Right? And what you truly want in terms of from your soul that wants to come out, it's just something that wants to come out. It's nothing that you need to look for or search or whatever. It's your soul wants to bring that forward. And once you realize what you really want, you will find other ways of getting there than your stage 1 and 2 ways. And this is a different type of wanting. This is a different type of desiring, because it is just an expression. It's not you desire something to have it. It's like, if you have that, and you can still have the material stuff all with that, right? I'm not saying you have to like not desire anything material, or what you thought you wanted could still be what you want to live. Like you might still want to live and experience financial freedom in this life, and just to see how it is to have that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if it is a result from your expression of your soul's desire, of your soul's path, by you living your soul's path, and as a result you become financially free, you become very happy in your relationships, you become fulfilled, you become nurturing and nurtured, and whatever else comes with that, because that can come with that, no problem. Actually much easier, because you're in the flow with your soul, and your flow of the soul is well-being, abundance, freedom, love, all that. So obviously naturally you will pull that much more into your life. So there's nothing wrong with that. So actually I have lost the start of this sentence, why I went down that route with that. My point was actually that you can still have all the stuff, okay? But they will be a result of you expressing your soul's desire. They will not be you want that, so you have that. It will be a result from a higher level of consciousness. And I hope you understand. So I hope that this is just as revealing to you as it was for me, and I like the way it was broken down, because you can really then look at the different stages you're at any given point in time. And I will love you and leave you for today, and we will talk next time.